Law enforcement these days seems to have a massive problem, doesn't it? It's not only in this country, it's in America too. In America, you have a big issue where, certain laws are introduced to make it difficult for the police to do their job. And, certain tools are taken away from them to enable them to do their job effectively. And there was a very big anti-police movement which was brought around the time of the George Floyd incident, and we all know what happened there. I'm not going to go into that because that's not what this video is about, and we all know the truth of how that situation turned out. In America, let's pick a state, New York for example. Police are leaving the job in droves. They're either retiring, they're moving to other states to take up a position, or they're done with law enforcement altogether, and they're just thinking, fuck this, I don't want to know. And you have a very big manpower shortage. Well, one thing that the state of New York is thinking about doing is lowering the standards of entry to try and encourage more people to join the police service, the NYPD, and I'm sure this will happen in other states in America. But you get a situation where people are slipping through the net who might not necessarily be fit for being a police officer, either physically or mentally, and they might have backgrounds which means they shouldn't have the badge or the gun or be able to do that kind of work. And then you will exacerbate the problem. It will get worse. When you look over in this country, you have a similar issue. You have a police service, particularly the Met, I single out because we get lots of stories about them, where coppers are just doing stupid things and criminal things. You look at the Sarah Everard situation, for example, we have to wonder why people think about the police service in the way they do. I'll tell you a story now. It's a very, I suppose, small-scale one compared with some of the heinous acts that other coppers have been up to, but it just makes you think, what the fuck is going on with the police service in this country? How do everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Last thing on a Tuesday. Hope you're doing all right. I'm not too bad. We had a good live chat today about the old political races in this country and what's going on, and where we think we're headed next. In my view, a whole world of hot water. But there you go. We'll have to see what actually happens. But I wanted to talk about the police service. In this video, in particular, what coppers get up to in their spare time. Once upon a time, many years ago, I like to think that they had a very strict code with regard to entry into the police service, and there were certain rules you had to follow, particularly with social media. I know at one point in time you weren't allowed to say, I am a copper. You had to come up with some other thing if you were going to put anything at all. But it would appear these days that all of this has gone out the window completely. I mean, have a look at this headline. Yes, a picture of a 34-year-old supposed police officer has appeared on Tinder, wearing nothing but a stab vest, covering his modesty and standing there with his big truncheon in his hand. Now, I'm not referring to the one behind the police hat either, and he's not exactly showing anything from the neck up. That might be enough to put people off, to be honest. You never know. But Devon and Cornwall police have had a shit fit because it's been identified that it could be one of their officers, and they're investigating to try and find out who it is, where they are, and was it actually them, and what the hell that was going through their mind. I mean, they're obviously after extracurricular activities, maybe a bit of overtime, not necessarily at the police station. I think they called it moonlighting back in the day, actually, so he might be after some kind of paid second employment, which is more enjoyable than his first. You never know. But I know I'm taking the piss, but seriously, why do these officers put the reputation of the forces they work for into such disrepute? You stand there in a stab vest with a badge on which identifies what force you belong to, and you wonder why you have problems in the police service today. Are they really that thick and stupid that they would do this? All right, I don't take anybody, anybody away from the fact they might want to use these services to try and improve their love life. Well, let's face it, just get a shag for one evening. But there's ways of doing it, and doing this in a full police uniform kind of thing. Well, obviously, the hat and everything. I think you're taking the piss. And I think when they find this person, whoever they are, they should be dealt with. Sacked, disciplined, exposed. Oh, no, not exposed. They did a good enough job of that themselves already on the old Tinder box. But you know what I mean. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think it's ridiculous, and this guy needs a slap round the back of the head at the very least. Anyway, I'm off. I'll see you tomorrow. Toodaloo.